Why can't you just see that it's a bad standard if it would lead to deporting your own grandmother?
Hold on, this is why people like you cannot make it in seriously in any sort of politics, because
Dude, you're the one arguing to debate your own grandmother, and I'm the
because
crazy one.
you're thinking about your
I'm the
personal
crazy
life.
one.
You're thinking about how you will personally be affected. Like, I'm not gonna be personally affected by this. People in my personal life, they will be affected, but I personally will not be affected negatively by this. And
you wouldn't be negatively personally affected if your grandmother was deported.
I would still talk to her.
Alright, so it looks like somehow Destiny is spiraling further and further into irrelevance and disgrace. And it's not really looking good for him reputation-wise and views also. And if you don't know who Destiny is, the guy started out as a professional Starcraft 2 player before moving into full-time streaming and online politics. And over time, he's become one of the most visible liberal-leaning political streamers, often seen as the main liberal figure, alongside Hassan, who's quite to the left of him in the political streaming space. But in recent years, his reputation definitely has taken a hit, with Destiny experiencing a string of controversies piling up, ranging from messy online behavior to allegations around inappropriate interactions with minors, which to say the least has led to a noticeable decline in his standing and influence. Like, there was a time where he was accused of texting a 17-year-old fan in 2022 and sharing explicit messages and material with her.
Just tipped $1.
Look at all my
Imagine how
imaginary
disappointed Lauren Southern felt after finding out Destiny dumped all their logs to a literal 19-year-old he's just started sexting.
Actually, we'd been texting for months, thank you.
And when a screenshot resurfaced in 2024 showing him asking for images when she was younger, where he allegedly inquired about the images when she was 10, revealed Destiny as a repeat offender in sharing non-consensual material without remorse. And there was even a video this year capturing him admitting on stream to finding 15-year-olds attractive and receiving images from one.
So what is the admitting to jerking off to 15-year-olds then? What is that in relation to?
I never admitted to jerking off. I think I just said like this. I think the log is something like this 15-year-old chick was trying to send me, or was sending me pictures of herself, and she was hot as fuck. It's like really hard to like turn down some of these people. I think.
Wait, how old was she?
She said she was 15.
And when Willie Mack released a clip claiming Destiny admitted to preserving material on his computer, leading to a police report, and you have Nick Fuentes reacting to this hilariously.
SSR Icos are sent $5. DGG brought to its knees by an e-girl. You hate to see it. Are you going to send the D-man a letter while he is in jail? 07.
Dude, the cardinal rule, the inviolable rule. No e-girls. Remember, heed these words. It's the iron law. The iron law. No e-girls, not even once. Not even once. Doesn't matter who you are. Left wing, right wing. Gay, straight, bisexual in Destiny's case. I mean, the dude's literally bisexual and he still failed. That's crazy. That's crazy. And he gets cucked. So it's like you didn't even, if you're a bisexual cuck, do you even have to have sex with women? And yet he still fell into the e-girl trap and got destroyed. It's shocking. So, dude, no e-girls. That's insane to me. No e-girls, not even once, not even. Everybody still thinks like, no, we're softening that rule. You know, people are giving a secret speech, de-Fuentesization of the right wing. We're going to open it up. E-girls are coming in. No e-girls. This is still Berlin Wall, checkpoints, turrets, moat, crocodiles, like e-girls. It's on site. They just cannot be. There's zero tolerance for e-girls.
MPI sent $5. You see Destiny say to some kid on Discord that's Hess afraid to wear a butt plug on stream because he might swallow it inside him, lol fag.
Yeah, dude, that guy's such a freak. We could have never been friends. I thought he was kind of just like a weirdo leftist, but he's a complete freak. Complete freak. He said he wouldn't wear a butt plug on stream because he might. I don't even want to say it. I'm not going to say it. It's too gross. But just like the way he said it, it's like, geez, dude, this guy's a freak. Holy shit, man. I don't know how anyone takes him seriously after that.
So now it's looking like he's spiraling, and this isn't really good news in the broader sense for his family. And I do say I don't know that much about what is happening in his family life, but I'm guessing that his kid, who dare I say is very online, is being raised in a way that isn't in a stable household, where his mum and his dad are there for guidance. But anyways, Destiny's son Nathan Bonnell, who is quite obviously in his rebellious phase, decided to go against the grain in his father's liberal ideas, and found himself being a groyper and aligning himself with his longtime rival Nick Fuentes.
You are more conservative. I see you like Nick Fuentes a lot, so are you a big Nick Fuentes fan?
It's complicated. I don't agree with him on everything like other groypers do, but
Other
I am
groypers, are you
somewhat
insinuating that
inspired by
so you're a groyper, is that what you're saying?
I could be considered one.
Wow, this is big news. This is, I mean, good for the Groyper movement. They caught a big fish, Destiny Bonnell. I mean, dude, you're like number 2 in charge to Nick right now. I mean that.
Nick is the best broadcaster in the game. No one is as good as him. No one can do a better 3-hour rant.
I'm telling you, the guy's a good communicator, and I understand why the young people like him. And I go to college campuses, a lot of people, young and old, like Nick, so I can understand. But the fact that you're a Groyper is very interesting because your dad and Nick were actually pretty good friends. I don't know how they are now, but they were actually very friendly for a long time. So I don't think he would be that mad that you're a groyper. Is he mad that you're a groyper? Does he know that you're a groyper?
Kinda. He thinks I'm being really edgy, but he thinks it's just a phase. He's not like mad at me for it. He thinks I'm probably gonna grow out of it someday. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
You've been saying that you're a groyper now. What is it like? What is the main thing that made you decide to become a groyper? Like, was there a certain thing that made you decide to join the movement?
I don't know. I just feel like those are the final people on the internet that I can kind of relate to. I'm not allowed to join Hassan's Discord anymore. I was banned there for trolling. I'm exiled from DCG Discord. No one in the DCG chats talks to me anymore. DCG hates me on Twitter. They banned me in the Reddit. Yeah, so the Groypers are kind of the final people I can come to, and I agree with most of them, and I find myself finding commonality with most of them being around my age or a little bit older.
Yeah, so it's wild. There's even this hilarious clip of Destiny's son telling a streamer he would deport his own grandmother to preserve a white ethno-state.
I love my grandma. It's not a personal thing. It's just about it's about the ethno state.
But why can't you just see though? Why can't you just see that it's a bad standard if it would lead to deporting your own grandmother?
Hold on, this is why people like you cannot make it in seriously in any sort of politics, because.
Dude, you're the one arguing to debate your own grandmother, and I'm the crazy one.
You're thinking about
I'm the crazy one.
You're thinking about how you will personally be affected. I'm not going to be personally affected by this. People in my personal life, they will be affected, but I personally will not be affected negatively by this. And
you wouldn't be negatively personally affected if your grandmother was deported.
I would still talk to her. I would still visit her.
Dude, this is crazy, dude. This is fucking crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't know, for context, Destiny and Nick have had a pretty obvious and extensive past, with them both beefing on occasions, making up and even streaming together. And in the meanwhile, you could obviously see some sort of rivalry going on. And I'm guessing Destiny's kid has gravitated towards Nick in this dynamic, seeing him as his dad's old antagonist. So he probably went towards Nick as a sort of resentment move. But since then, Destiny has really lambasted Nick, and in my opinion, it's due to his downward trajectory from all the allegations piling up on him. Meanwhile, Nick has been on the upward.
Yeah, there's some real fucking crazy shit. Anyway, Nick Fuentes' level of misogyny is when you just like, when it's not just that like
why is he comparing people to Nick Fuentes? Fuentes has no relevancy online at all. He's not relevant anywhere. Like, AF is dead. I don't even know if does Cozy even still exist as a website. He's only obsessed and fixated on Fuentes because of me. But I'm pretty sure at this point he's platformed and talked about Fuentes and elevated more Groyper accounts than I could have ever dreamed of doing. Like, what the fuck?
It's so funny too that like both of these like fading irrelevant losers are trying so hard to like grasp at each other and try to make something happen here. Fuentes' peak popularity was prior to it was really prior to the Kanye stuff. Fuentes will never hit that level of cultural penetration or popularity ever again.
Twitter's not gonna be the thing that does it for him.
And yeah, you can really see Destiny's animosity and what seems like failure to see him falling off with his snide comments towards Nick.
Bobby Groyper sent $10. Watching an old talk between Sneeko and Destiny. Destiny makes fun of you for believing in conspiracies related to fluoride, the Vegas shooter, and 9/11. 2 seconds later, he admits he doesn't have time to look into the details of these events. I can't believe I ever thought he was smart.
Yeah, I told you. Everybody would always say, oh, well, you got to admit he's smart. No, he's dumb. He doesn't know anything. If you've watched him long enough and you know stuff, you know this guy doesn't know anything, man. He doesn't know anything. There's like a supercut out there where he says Russia shares a border with Egypt. He can't find Palestine on a map. He thought the Bible was written in Arabic. It's endless like that. This guy knows nothing. It's embarrassing. So yeah, I don't know how anyone thinks he's smart either. He's like the epitome of a dumb person's idea of a smart person.
So, coupled with Nick Fuentes being on the upward trajectory since his Iran war coverage, I'm guessing his kid Nathan, who again quite obviously has something against his father, is now tuning into his arch enemy Nick, with him saying that he's with Nick and the Groypers now. But what is interesting is Nick addressing this, and Nick's choice to go graciously with his advice, and for Nick making sure to not make fun of the situation, where Nick quite obviously feels some sort of sadness towards the situation at home, and he gives fatherly advice to Destiny's son with a very empathetic and mature tone.
Momentum Problem sent $15. The generational runner on Red Pill, Destiny's son will.
I don't know. I don't want to get mixed up in that because you know what happens when you got kids is when you're 14 years old, okay, people got to lay off this guy. He's 14 years old. You know, people are on his Twitter. Oh, he's a Nazi. He's this, he's that. He's on a show. Look, he's 14 years old. And I'm not saying that to belittle him. He seems like a very intelligent young guy and seems very precocious. So I'm not belittling him. And when you're 14, I still believe you're a young man, but people should really be considerate and not treat it like a big spectacle. Him going out there and saying what he's saying, you know, there's clearly some family thing. He's griping about his mom, about his dad on his Twitter, on his Discord. Obviously, he's saying he's a Groyper. He's saying he likes Hitler. His dad is like a famous leftist. Like there's a personal dimension to it as well. So you just got to wonder what is best for him as a young man. And I would say it about myself. I'd say it about him. It's not a good idea for a 14-year-old to be on the internet doing polemical stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't think it's a good idea. It's not in his best interest. And I say that as someone, you know, I could bring him on my show and it would be very friendly. And yeah, everyone would get a big laugh at Destiny's expense. Ha ha ha. Destiny's kid's a Groyper. He's on, oh, look, he's on Nick Fuentes' show. Look at the screenshot. Would that go viral? Yes. Would that make me look cool and make Destiny look like an asshole? Yeah. But they wouldn't be right. And it's not good for him. It's not good for Nathan. You know, at that age, you shouldn't be on the internet doing polemical stuff. And I don't even mean politics. I mean polemical speech. It is one thing if you, under adult supervision, you have a Twitter account, you post some things. It's another thing to be on Twitter without supervision, saying you're a Nazi, I love Hitler. And look, I get it. I mean, I'm that guy, right? But, you know, you lead a long life. And the things you say when you're 14, because you don't have that maturity, you don't have that experience, they come back to bite you in a big way. You know, this is a young man who maybe one day is going to want a family, is going to want a career, is going to want to get into college. How does that look getting into college when you're on the internet with Nick Fuentes, when you're on the internet saying you love Hitler? Not a good look. How's that going to bode in the job interview? How's that going to bode with the future wife? You know, so his father is what he is. His family situation is what it is. You know, my advice for him would be, he got banned on Twitter. My advice is, look, he's a smart kid, seems very precocious. Look, I mean, his family situation, I don't want to weigh in on the outside looking in, but it's obviously less than ideal. You could say that much. I would say, look, you can't control the hand that you're dealt, but you can control how you play it, you know? So I'd say stay offline, focus on school. I'd say wait until you're a little bit older. Hone your craft in the meantime. You want to do Discord debates, you want to debate your friends, that's a great opportunity. Do extracurriculars. There's a great outlet for that in school. Do debate, do Model UN. Do it in a controlled environment where you're not subject to ridicule and scrutiny of the whole world and it's, you know, your permanent record. Do extracurriculars and focus on learning. When you're a kid, you don't know anything. Trust me, been there, done that. I wish I got started a little bit later, to tell you the truth, because when you're a kid, you don't know that much. So focus on listening. Read books, listen, read everything you get your hands on, do debates with your friends in school, stuff like that. And I would say, if you want to have an internet presence, just be so mindful. The parents should be involved in that. And if you want to go and do a streaming career, just wait a few years. You know, be a kid. You're 14. Enjoy your high school experience. Enjoy time with your friends. You know, the internet is not, you know, it can be a fun place.
and you should use it. It's going to be a part of all of our lives forever, you know, notwithstanding some catastrophe. But it can also be a very dangerous place, and you can make a lot of mistakes that could really mess with your life. So I would just urge caution. Think long term. You know, be patient. Don't be chomping at the bit to go on the internet and prove how based you are. I know, I get it. Like when you're a kid, it feels good when you're a 14-year-old to have a big Twitter account. I can't imagine. When I was 18, I had 1,000 followers on Twitter. I know when you're 14, you got 25,000 followers and you're going on shows. I'm sure you feel like the king of the world. I get it. But, you know, it's like a sugar rush. It feels good, but in the long term, it's not going to help you. So I don't think it's in his best interest. When it comes to kids, I don't like messing around with the youngsters. You know what I mean? When it comes to political live streamers that are adults, I mean, yeah, everything is fair game, but kid's 14 and people are like, oh, you should have him on your show. It's like, yeah, I mean, that would be funny and everything, but like, this is also his real life. So that would be kind of sick. You know, he's 14. I'm going to have this kid on to fuck with his dad, his bio. Like, that's just a shitty thing to do, you know? Like, that's his real dad. That's his real life. So yeah, people that I don't know on the internet would think it's really funny, but that's his real life and that's his real relationship with his real father. I feel for him. It's a rough situation. So anyway, so I'm not going to be having him on the show. It's not because I don't like him. I think he's a smart kid. I think he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. But I would say wait a few years, okay? I'd say the same thing to any Groyper. It's not just because you're Destiny's kid. I'd say the same thing to every Groyper. Hide your power level. I say the same thing to every Groyper. Hide your power level. You're in high school. Put your head down. If you want to be serious, put your head down and read as many books as you can get your hands on. If you want to max out your IQ, pick up a language, pick up an instrument. Maximize your college prospects. You know what the fast track is to power and influence and money? Getting into an elite university. So focus up in school. Get a good college application. Try and go to Chicago or UCLA or Harvard or Stanford or something. You know, you want to set yourself up. You want an advantage. I'll tell you what, people that are Harvard and Yale alum, they are a lot more valuable to the cause than, you know, some burnout. And I don't say that derisively, but I mean, we want people to set themselves up to be in the maximal position of influence. And it's never too late to start, and everybody can make a difference. But if you start early and if you go hard and you take it seriously and you've got talent and aptitude, the sky's the limit. You know, we're talking U.S. politicians. You know, you want to be a U.S. senator, you want to be a high-powered lawyer, you want to be a billionaire, 100 millionaire. That starts in high school. It starts when you get into a highly selective college. It starts there. That's my message to the young. Please do not go on YouTube and prove how based you are. We already got people like me. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this. That's my job. That's my role. I did it. Now you don't have to, okay? My name is being dragged through the mud. My reputation's destroyed. I'm banished from the institutions. It is what it is. You know, I'm filling that position. Now we need all the young, precocious people that are coming after me to get in the institutions, get power. You know, I do this very well. I fill this position. You know, the market is not big for a lot of these people. It's hard to make it. It's not really a great life. So trust me when I tell you, hit the books, okay? Anyway, so that's my advice to the high schoolers and to Destiny's son included in that. So yeah, I feel for him a little bit, and I wish people would leave him alone. I mean, you know, I understand a lot of people are being friendly, but I also know a lot of people are using him to make fun of the dad, and at the end of the day, he is still the guy's dad, so.
No message sent $20. Any future debate?
Yeah, so it does look like Nick truly doesn't want to destroy this kid to advance some schizo agenda against his old-time pal Destiny. But it now looks like Destiny and his fans want to be in the spotlight again, relighting the old rivalry with Nick, where Destiny's fans actually think that if he debated Nick, that would somehow magically derail a train that has been gaining momentum for 10 years. And it obviously isn't true. Nick is way bigger than Destiny now, and should and probably will ignore Destiny for the best.
Like what Destiny did with, let's just keep it to fucking Nick Fuentes. You know, like, basically by like hanging with him, laughing with him, fist bumping with him, all that, having burgers.
Let's look at like, yeah, Fuentes is like exploding in his career right now, right? America First is the crazy Groyper movement that's so successful online. They have such a huge presence now, right? Like
on a sidewalk and kind of like laughing when he made anti-Semitic memes to passers.
Yeah, so it looks like Destiny isn't even relevant enough to debate Nick anymore. So those days are long gone. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, and peace.